Ironman, a task that rattles even the most steadfast athlete. It is a true test of what the human body is capable of. Every athlete who steps up to the start line of an Ironman has a story. And this year, we have had the fortune to meet some of the most inspiring people in the world. From athletes who have gone blind or been paralyzed, from those with a crippling addiction, to those who have served time. These are some of the stories that have brought us to our feet to cheer for complete strangers and proved, without a doubt, that anything is possible. Here is our list of the best stories from 2017. Meet Leslie Medley Russell. She lost her husband to melanoma and a couple of years later was diagnosed with cancer. But she won't let cancer define her, and the inspiration of her husband has led her to Ironman.
It's mind over body. You know it is. Oh my gosh, I mean, that's the only way, you know?
Marcus Cook used to weigh 500 pounds, and it took the encouragement of a friend to turn him around.
A very close friend of mine that was dying of cancer, he said, hey, you know, I'm dying because I have an incurable disease. You're dying because you have a choice, and I want you to live. That's what I did.
Next came the story of two brothers who have competed together their entire lives. Kyle Peace was born with cerebral palsy, but his big brother Brent always went out of his way to make sure he was included. Brent and Kyle stepped up to the line in Boulder and showed everyone what true brotherhood is.
It doesn't work without Kyle, and it doesn't work without me. You know, so I'll give Kyle my legs, and he's going to give me his spirit.
Jill Koski is truly a beautiful human being. She struggled for years with alcohol dependency and was incarcerated for 7 years because of it. But her time in prison set her free and gave her a new outlook on life. She is now sober, healthy, and just wants to spread hope and love with everyone she meets.
Anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Aaron Pendergraft is a probation officer with a positive attitude and a genuine heart. Through the swim and the bike, he is just like every other athlete. But when he hits the run, he hits it in style.
And so it begins.
Aaron has chosen to get the most out of every race he can by having fun and bringing a smile to his fellow athletes.
You know what? There will come a day when I can't make it to the start line, let alone the finish. But today is not that day.
This year, he finished 2 races dressed to the nines. Our athletes by far are the greatest athletes in the world, whether they come across the line in 8 hours or 17. Every single person out there comes across as a champion. But not a single one of those champions could make it without the help of our volunteers. Ironman volunteers are truly responsible for making anything possible. One of those volunteers is Clint Faltudo, a high school track coach who lives to inspire. In the wee hours before an Ironman, his energy is exactly what you need to get ready for your long day.
Here we go! Everybody bikes today! Here we go! Here we go! This is what you've been working all year for! Today is your day! Don't you forget it! Here we go!
Ironman is no stranger to athletes with physical challenges. From lost limbs to the loss of vision, these athletes have even more to fight for. Eric Manzer lost his sight as an adult, but rather than allow it to stop him, he fought to do more and set a world record for blind athletes at Ironman Maryland with the help of his guide, Matt Smith, coming in at 10 hours, 42 minutes, and 56 seconds. Landon Lopker was an addict. He struggled with drugs, alcohol, as well as bipolar disorder.
I had a letter written out of everything that I hated about myself and didn't like, just so that my parents would know why I didn't want to be around anymore.
But through the tremendous support of his friends and family, he came back from the edge of that cliff and found a new way to love life through Iron Man. Cedric King is a true hero. In 2012, he lost both legs and part of his hand from an IED in Afghanistan. While in the hospital, he saw the Ironman World Championship broadcast on television and decided to challenge himself. He fought hard at Ironman Florida, but was not able to finish. But he still showed up at the finish line to medal others and cheer on his fellow athletes. He is already making plans for his next attempt.
Like, I know anything is possible.
Glenn Hartrick has completed 5 Ironman races as an able-bodied athlete, but was unfortunately hit by a car during a training ride. He is now paralyzed from the waist down and has worked so hard to get back to the sport he loves. He not only competed in Ironman Florida, but he set a personal record, proving yet again that anything is possible. Have you ever met someone who embodies exactly what it means to be a parent? Well, that is Corey Dillon. After his daughter attempted suicide, Corey and his wife rushed to her side to pour out their love and acceptance. And then he raced Ironman Arizona to promote the same.
I'm going to be racing to promote kindness and promote acceptance for people who are transgender. I'm going to be wearing the transgender flag on my race kit that day. Let's together try to raise some positivity around a really difficult subject.
Now let us introduce you to Amy Downs. Amy was overweight and lost 200 pounds on a path to live a better and healthier life. And that should be her story. But what sparked her transformation? In 1995, Amy was working at the Federal Building downtown Oklahoma City when a bomb went off. She fell 3 floors and was trapped for 6.5 hours.
I laid there and started bargaining with God, and just started, praying, and if I make it out alive, I'll never live my life the same. And I made it out alive, and I'm never living my life the same.
Ironman is the home to the most inspirational people in the world. And that isn't limited to only the full distance, as the Ironman 70.3 provides just as much inspiration. Rebecca Piper was paralyzed down the right side of her body after a home invasion. She struggled to find a new normal and now lives life to the fullest.
So yeah, through all that, and I've decided to remain positive and be happy, and it's just easier to live life happy.
At the very same race, Jeff and his son Johnny Agar raced together. Johnny has cerebral palsy and challenged himself to walk the last half mile of the race.
Yeah, it's exciting. We're excited to be here. We're grateful to Ironman for having us, and it's going to be a fun day.
Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try.
On top of it all, Jeff, Johnny, and Rebecca all crossed the line within 1 minute of each other. It was an unplanned moment that we will carry with us for the rest of our lives.
Because I have failed time and time again, but you got to go ahead and try again, and eventually you'll make it.
What happens to you in life doesn't define you. It's what you do about it that does. Anything is possible.